Hello students, and welcome to week 5. I hope your week is starting off well and that you got through everything you needed to get through during week 4. I know week 4 was a little intensive with our midterm and some other assignments that we had going on, so I hope everything went well. Now that we are in week 5, I do want you to know that grades are up to date as of everything that was completed through week 3. I will be working to get through your midterms by the end of the week, and hopefully the rest of the assignments by then too. Some of the other assignments may take me a little into next week to get through because I'm prioritizing your midterms, so I really want to read through those and give you some good feedback. With that, we're getting into the week 5 assignment. So remember, I'm going to be reminding you from here on out, start thinking about your final capstone project. Read through that again if you haven't already, and it's due week 8, but we definitely need to start thinking about that. Detailed assignment instructions are in the week 8 folder, and it's also on the syllabus. Not that you need to get started working on that, but just start thinking about it. So what you will be completing this week. In the Diggs Brown book, you'll be reading pages 262 through 320. And you'll be on the Vivens book from pages 125 through 160. You have 3 assignments. You have reflection assignment number 5. It's the discussion board where you're going to be looking at topics in the daily newspaper. And I do want you to look at an actual printed newspaper and see what those topics are, and look at it, discuss the criteria of newsworthiness according to the Diggs book. So look at the daily paper this week and share an article that you find. Tell me why you like that assignment, why you like that article, and then look at the criteria according to the Diggs Brown book on newsworthiness and evaluate that article based off of that. Now with that, you don't need to find an article that meets the criteria. You just need to find an article that you like and then evaluate it according to the criteria and to see if it meets it or not. And so that's kind of the point of the assignment, to see, are things in the paper really meeting the newsworthy criteria that we find important in terms of it from the media perspective. This is important for public relations because a lot of the time you're pitching story ideas to the newspaper to get coverage for the events or the different topics or campaigns that you're working on. So you need to see how they're covering it. Writing assignment number 4 deals with evaluation and follow-up in public relation campaigns, which is huge. So you're going to be reading the case study on page 270 about the CDC campaign towards obesity. And there's 5 questions you're going to answer on that. What you need to look at here is that you will never know how successful your campaign is if you do not evaluate it and do follow-up. So I want you to kind of have some practice in that on this assignment. For example, one big thing that your bosses and CEOs and things like that in the PR industry are going to be looking for is a follow-up on the campaign and evaluation, because they're going to want to look at the ROI. They're going to want to see a return on investment, and they're going to want to see what you did was successful. Also, you're going to want to tell them, look, it was successful. I wanted to increase readership by such and such percent, and I met and exceeded that goal. So you want to make sure that that is demonstrated in that sense. And so this assignment gives us practice in looking at it. Was the CDC obesity campaign successful or not? You'll address that in questions 1 through 5 for your writing assignment number 4. Skill exercise number 5 deals with writing a 200 to 300 word feature article. Now, if you looked at this assignment prior to today, prior to Monday this afternoon at 3 o'clock, it was a little loose in terms of what the actual requirements were, meaning it was vague. So I went through and kind of tightened it up. I attached a PDF that's titled Feature Leads that you need to read through to kind of understand what leads are, which is the introductory sentence of a news article or a feature story that's printed in a magazine or newspaper. And then also gives you some ideas about what type of stories you write for feature stories, or articles you write for feature articles. So it helps kind of explain it a little more in depth than maybe you're going to get just from looking at the Vivens book. The Vivens book covers it well. Let me tell you that. It does cover it well, but this kind of is going to help you out. The most important thing you need to know is that on pages 11 through 13 of the PDF handout has the story of David and Goliath. Now you can go to your Bible and read it from there, that's fine, but I did provide it for you because you're going to write a feature story about David and Goliath. Now a feature story is usually an in-depth piece beyond a news story. If you were to write a news story about David and Goliath, all you would write about was what you saw and what you covered. That today a young boy came out and killed Goliath. Just the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, and why about it. We're not doing that. What I want you to do is to write a feature story about David and Goliath. And essentially a feature story is really what would readers want to know about the story of David and Goliath besides the news? What do they want to know about that? And so that's what you're going to do with this assignment. You're going to write a feature story about what people want to know about the David and Goliath story if you were reporting it from back in the time that it actually happened. So 5 things to know about David as he slayed Goliath, or 3 things you didn't know about the day that Goliath died. Things like that that kind of help go beyond what you would think in a general news story about the who, what, when, where, and why. And so if you have any questions with that, let me know. That is really kind of a crash course, so if you're not too sure about how to write a feature story, just email me and I'll be here. So that really is it. Those are the things that you should be working on. If you have any questions about anything, let me know, or you need any prayer or anything like that. I know it's getting to crunch time, and I hope everything's going well and you all are doing great. My door is always open. I am going to be here on the main campus in my office in James 362 on Wednesday from 9 to 4:30, and I will be more than welcome to meet with anybody on the phone or email or in person if needed. So I hope everything's going well, and God bless, and have a good week. Bye-bye.